Hey guys, in this video we're going to be working on the placement and the relationship between the upper arm bone and the shoulder blade. So that's our shoulder joint. So a lot of times what ends up happening is with this backside tissue gets lax and the front of the shoulder ends up just kind of sitting on the almost like pulled out of the scapula. So we really want to maintain the congruency in this and reestablish that a little bit. So what you're going to need is a dumbbell. A kettlebell works really well also, kind of ideal, but you don't need a heavy weight on this. 10 pounds, 15, kind of feel this out a little bit. But the idea on this, guys, is that you're on your back, the shoulder that we're focused on is holding onto the dumbbell, and you're just letting the weight of gravity and the dumbbell let the upper arm settle to the back side of the shoulder blade. So it's taking some breaths into here, a nice slow breath in, even slower breath out. A lot of times we're holding onto that tension. We're automatically just in this position. So we're just trying to spend a little bit of time taking some breaths and letting that upper arm humerus sit to the back side of the shoulder blade. Again, a lot of this is just giving it permission to do so. It might feel like your shoulder blade squeezes back a little bit. That's okay initially. We really want to make sure that the elbow stays straight. So a lot of times maybe we can get the shoulder to the back of the socket, but the elbow is bent. Totally fine. Try to keep the shoulder then to the back of the socket as you work to find the tricep to get the elbow to extend. So again, as we extend the elbow, a lot of times we'll see this happen. Again, we want to avoid that. We want that shoulder, that upper arm to settle to the back side of the scapula. Once you feel like you've made some noticeable improvement, like it's actually moved to the back side, you've got a nice straight elbow, to take a little bit of tension off the shoulder, squeeze that dumbbell a little bit harder with your hand. Really depend on the hand a little bit more in that grip rather than depending on everything else up into here as well. So as the neck relaxes, you can kind of work the energy, so to say, into the hand itself. You'll feel that hopefully the backside shoulder start to wake up some of that tissue. We can then from there, when we get into this, we can do a couple different things. We can get it like a punch up as if we're trying to punch this arm out of the socket. It's like you're trying to push up against that weight, not allowing it to happen. So just trying to feel that stuff reach. And then when you relax, that isometric punch up, the upper arm should be able to settle to the back side a little bit more. Maybe you can get the elbow to straighten out. But again, we're just working this positioning and know that there's a lot, you don't necessarily graduate to this. There's a lot of tissue back there for some of us that we may need to access and wake up. So then what we can do from there is just get these small little rotations. Once you feel like it's settled to the back side, you get the upper arm to spiral. Internal rotation to external rotation. As you externally rotate, you can think about almost like screw driving the arm to the back of the socket even more, that back shoulder contraction to pull that back. And then again, the internal rotation, try not to fake this motion. We can just twist at the elbow joint and the dumbbell and not actually get any movement at the shoulder itself. So keep this very small, keep this very light. That's kind of option one. Then we can just flip around onto hands and knees and really do the exact same thing using the weight of the floor to push the arm to the back of the socket. So we may need to kind of explore a little bit, but same idea. You can kind of maybe turn the chest towards the arm if that's helpful to be able to let that sink back. Again, the tendency is the elbow will want to bend maybe when we get the shoulder to the back side. So that can be your challenge and what you're working on in this drill is you've got it to the backside. Now can we find that tricep to extend? Same idea with the hand. Can we push a little bit of pressure of the hand into the floor? Get the fingers to push into the floor. We don't have to grip, but just pushing into the floor so we're not so dependent on everything else. But again, same idea, a couple of breaths. I like this position a lot because you can't push the floor away. So when we do this overcoming isometric and we start to try to push the upper arm out of the socket of the shoulder blade, we can't, right? We can't move the floor. We can move the dumbbell, so you may get a little bit more out of this. And then after you're pushing, you're trying to push this out of the socket, but you can't, the floor is there. Once you relax, again, take a couple of breaths. Maybe you find that you can kind of sink into that a little bit further, that upper arm gets to the settle to the backside. And then same thing, we can get a little bit of these light just rotations of the shoulder joint itself where the upper arm bone spirals, try to screw it externally, it gets pulled to the backside of the socket. Again, we're really just trying to wake up this tissue to the backside with some of these contract, relax ideas and some of these isometrics. And then we're really primarily trying to get this to settle to the backside of the shoulder blade. So we've got just a better congruency, better ball in the socket when we're actually using our arm. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.